Hey everyone, it's Ryan1940 here, and today we're taking a look at Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 for a bomber that I have been waiting to have in Flight Sim for so long. And that is the B-52H, which is made by GKS Studio, or GKS, Golden Key Studio I should say. They're based in Ukraine. They've produced the MiG-21, the MiG-25, and the F-111 Aardvark. I don't have any of those planes, so this is my first GKS plane. And this bomber actually came out, I think, for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 back in like November of 2025. So it's been some time. I've just been holding out and not purchasing that, just waiting for it to come to 2024 because that's basically, I've moved on to that sim now. So that's my sim of choice, and they finally released it for 2024 in the month of February, so I had to pick it up. Now this bomber, I think the last time we've seen a somewhat decent one was Captain Sim's B-52 back in like FSX days, and I didn't even have it back then. X-Plane has a B-52 in it, but it's pretty it's just not great. It's not by any stretch, and not really like it. There's not a lot of systems modeled. The graphic, like visually, it's not great. So this is built from the ground up for this simulator. Well, I should say for the pair of simulators, Microsoft 2020 and 2024. They do say that this is built specifically for 2024, and I think there's an upgrade cost if you're trying to jump from 20 to 24. I paid $39.99 for this, and it's available in the Microsoft Store. Yeah, we'll take a look at our little flight here and talk about the plane. So we have departed Nellis. We're climbing outbound, and this thing, depending on your weight, can climb like a rocket. You have to manage the climb rates just via the throttles. You got those gigantic wings. They did release a manual finally, just came out not too long ago, and that is, I think, like 190 pages or something like that, and the checklists weren't included in that. Those just came out as well, and the checklist PDF, both of these things you can download from their website or find them in their Discord, but the checklists themselves, I think it's like 110 pages of PDF, and it almost looks like it's ripped from a B-52 manual, the way the tables are laid out. It's really well done if it's not just a copy port over thing, but it goes into insane detail of structural loads and limits and stuff on the aircraft. This thing can take off, I think the max gross takeoff weight is somewhere around like 480,000 tons, or 1,000 pounds, sorry. And it, you can definitely feel it when you're trying to taxi. And in fact, when you're at like max weight, you definitely are supposed to taxi super slow because you don't want to put a lot of strain on the aircraft. So some people I've seen kind of complain about the ground handling being pretty crappy when you're fully loaded and stuff, and that's somewhat how it should be. You know, you're pushing around a large amount of weight, and it doesn't turn on a dime when you've got that much fuel and bombs and stuff like that on board. So speaking of bombs, there's not any weapons with this thing. You can't drop fake bombs like you do with the Miltech plane, the Skyraider. I've seen in their Discord, they're talking about putting pylons on that can carry missiles, I think, and also internal like rotary missile thing maybe. But I don't think they've committed to it yet, but I think the desire is probably there to add something to it. I do hope they do add just dumb bombs that kind of work in the way the Miltech bombs work, because imagine dropping a full payload of bombs from this thing, just dumb bombs, and just seeing all the craters and smoke and stuff over some test range. That to me is basically encompassing all the stuff that I would want to do with this bomber. I have chatted with some people about it, and one Air Force guy that's I don't know if he's subscribed to the channel, but he made a comment on a post I had about this plane, about how it was basically a big waste to even get a military aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim. And I told him, well, I live in a military town and I see military aviation all the time, and they're not always going out on, bombing runs and stuff like that. So I don't care that I'm flying military aircraft in this simulator and not having the ability to drop bombs. But he was saying, well, they drop bombs more often than you think, and and that kind of thing. When they go TDY, they're dropping fake bombs and all this stuff. It's like, yeah, that's fine, but to me, the experiences that you can get in Microsoft Flight Sim versus DCS is, one, you can fly where you live. Okay, not all of us live in the Caucasus region, or not all of us live in the Persian Gulf, and not all of us live around Nellis, like you can do in DCS with those separate maps. I can fly the whole entirety of the globe and take this bomber anywhere, and with time compression, I can, do the entire flight, which is pretty nuts. So that is something I enjoy in Microsoft Flight Sim, and I do understand some people, think, if there's no weapons modeling or whatever, or the sensor modeling, then why bother? That's different strokes for different folks, right? It doesn't bother me at all, but if we had the ability to drop the dumb bombs, like I said, like with Miltech, and just seeing that, you can basically run a whole realistic training sortie taken off from, one of the bomber fields like Barksdale or Minot, head out to a range somewhere in the middle of the country and just bomb it and fly back. And that's really neat, because basically all I've done so far has just been flying between military airfields, so like between Nellis, between Miramar, Minot and Nellis. I was looking around for a good B-52 sceneries, and there's not really any right now. Barksdale, I think, has like there might be something on Flight Sim TO for that somebody kind of made to have bomber parking and stuff, but nothing official. So speaking of that, if you look around for paint jobs to download from, like, say, flightsim.to, I couldn't find any, and this plane has been out for a little while now, and I think it's because most of the community is waiting for a paint kit to be able to do this stuff. I have seen screenshots of people posting some like works in progress, changing some of the details on the plane visually, but nothing has been released, and it's kind of a bummer because you only get 3 paint schemes with this jet. They look really good, and I enjoy them, but I would like to see the paint kit come out so we can start to get some really neat paint schemes that people in the community can create and share with the rest of us. There's a lot of talent out there. In terms of bugs and stuff that I found with my time with the plane, it looks amazing, and I love spending time in the cockpit. A lot of people say that it's using the Boeing 747 sound set. I don't know if it is. I can't really tell the difference, but I definitely know it's not a B-52 sound set. Those TF-33s have a very distinct kind of whining noise, and if you don't know what that is, go watch a YouTube video on like B-52's landing. You'll definitely hear them, and they have this weird kind of screaming, whining noise that would really set this thing over the top as an amazing purchase. I think for the price, visually and systems-wise and stuff like that, and the details in there, it's really good, but you kind of expect a good sound set to go with the actual aircraft once you start moving to the $40-50 range for the pricing. The other thing that I've noticed, and I don't know if it's just me, so I'm not going to say it's a bug, but the B-52s land with this, well, even when they're flying, a lot of times and taking off, they've got this nose-down attitude that you can watch B-52 videos on YouTube of real ones, and you'll see what I'm talking about. The tail is kind of higher than the nose, and it's especially kind of crazy looking when they come to land and their tail is very high above the nose. They've got to try to manage that, and good landings and stuff, they'll kind of land on both wheels at the same time. In this game, you kind of have to flare it quite a bit and land on the aft wheel set and then put it down. Yeah, I just don't know. Maybe if I've got like the different weight loads and maybe at a certain weight range, the plane will fly like that. So I don't know. The one thing I know for sure is a bug, and I've reported on their Discord, is the cockpit lighting when you're landing. You cannot see the landing lights on the field below you, and because of that, I almost I flew through another B-52 taking off at Nellis because I couldn't see my own lights illuminating the runway as I landed. And it's funny because it's actually on. If you go to the exterior view, as you can see there, we could see the lights on illuminating the field. It's just once you're in the cockpit, it's not there. I don't know if that carries on into Microsoft 2020 as well, but I've experienced it in 24. Hopefully that gets fixed, because I really do enjoy the cockpit. It looks really good, especially at night in the evening flights. It's got this cozy feeling to it. The lighting is just right, except for that, obviously, that bug. So yeah, if you have any questions or comments about this, leave them down below. Actually, I should say I do recommend this plane. I mean, if you're looking for a B-52, like, this is it, and this is a good contender. There's just none out there. I think there's Microsoft Scenery has one, and you know, those type of planes are like nothing. They're not modeled at all in any sort of fidelity. So this has got this beautiful exterior model. This sounds could be improved to actually use the B-52 sounds, but the interior is really well modeled. The systems are really well modeled. The crabbing system's really neat. I don't think anything like that in Microsoft Flight Sim. So yeah, if you have it, let me know what your thoughts are. I was surprised to learn like how fast the B-52 has to land, but it makes sense. Like, you're landing typically around about like 170-ish or 160, depending on how much weight you've got with you when you come back to land. I think you're supposed to land under like the 330,000 pounds or something like that, but you can fully max this plane out, and it takes a long time to get up in the air. It's pretty neat. But if you're lightly loaded, like I said, it'll take off like a rocket ship. Anyways, let me know what you think about this plane, and I'll respond to any questions or comments as soon as possible. See you next one. Bye.